Right, so hello everybody, and welcome to the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine reading. Where are we at? And this will be a general tune in for those of you who are interested or resonate with the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine journey in relationship to Divine Counterpart, the spiritual aspects of relationships. But also, if you just resonate with that actual concept, it could be that you are on the twin flame journey, or you've been on the twin flame journey and you're in separation, or maybe you've decided from your lessons and your learning and your understanding of what you've gone through that you are manifesting or working with spirit to welcome in a relationship into your life. Now, what I will do with this reading today, so excuse me, I've just forgotten one thing, is that I'm going to cover all the aspects that I can in relation to how the twin flame, divine counterpart, I'm going to keep it all inclusive. So whether you're in separation, so you're not physically connected to a partner at the moment, you're alone and you want to be in a relationship, we'll look at the energies around you, as you might be the masculine, you might be the feminine. So just to cover the basics with what I understand it to be. So what Spirit have always shown me is that it's an energy, and many of you will already know this, but we all have divine masculine and feminine within us. They are almost like templates within our experience down here on earth. I wouldn't say that they are a soul template. I would say that they are something that we relate energies to in a way to identify with them. So for me personally, the divine masculine will be somebody who's kind and protective, emotionally available, and the masculine is very much I wouldn't say the leader in the relationship, but is the protector and is the person or the energy that doesn't have authority, because they both have authority, but will be more action orientated. And the feminine would be much more receptive and, yes, again, gentle, but in a different way. Most of us do identify with it with gender, but it's actually nothing to do with gender. The divine masculine part of us will have an authority to take charge and to initiate a course of action. And the divine feminine is the all-knowing, it's the creative vessel. So it's like hand into glove. It's like that energy. The two fit together. We both need the divine masculine and the divine feminine within us to be recognized, because otherwise we will be out of balance. Like, we cannot have ideas and birth creative ideas if we are not going to act on them in the first place. So what I would say is, with this reading as well, is, of course, we're in a 2 month, in a 6 year. So the numerology it's 2 is about connection and union. It's about coming together. It's about bringing these two energies together within us. And I know Valentines is very commercial, but it's a beautiful time to celebrate in a 2 month the coming together, not only within ourselves but with each other. And we are actually seeing that around the world at the moment. So say if you are in a relationship and you're not seeking to be in union with another person physically, well, then this could be about you uniting the energies within yourself. So what I'm inviting anyone that listens to this video to do is to work with the concept of the divine feminine and masculine based upon inclusivity of where it fits into your life, of where you're at. So if you're married, maybe you might want to be healing your relationship, and there's some things that have come up, and I will ask the cards on that as well. So you look at this in respective of yourself, and maybe not in the outward manifestation of a relationship in the world. However, what Spirit is saying, as soon as I say that, they're saying to me, well, it's all energetic, it's all already happening. And I definitely think that people that are in separation have already connected in the dream state, especially this month, because it's a massive portal month of energies connecting in the astral and in the psychic realms before they come together. So you might be getting a feeling about this yourself anyway. Right, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to start with the Divine Feminine first of all. I've also got my Kali journal, so I'm going to see what comes out for the feminine as a message for them and a message for the masculine. Right, so let's just get a gulp of water, and I've got 5 to 8 hertz, which is the love frequency, vibration, music playing in the background. So, and you know, I am very much in tune with this. I think it's very Aphrodite energy that comes around the feminine, and it's about connecting with yourself. So yeah, Valentines has got all this commercialism to it, but if you can bring in the light energy of Aphrodite, which is all to do with beautification of your life in all ways, whether it's you create something new, or you open up a new pathway, or you appreciate your physicality in this world and the footprint that you are creating here in your life, but how you live on a day-to-day basis and what you resonate with, and how you create your environment, that's very much Aphrodite as well. It's all about essence and tapping into that, and this energy is available to all of us, whether we are a certain specific gender or not. We can all bring in some beautiful feminine energy of Aphrodite at this time, which is all about receiving, it's all about experiencing, it's about being in the moment and savoring it. And you know, there's a slight hedonistic side to Aphrodite, but you know, if I don't know where you are in the world, but in the northern hemisphere, this is the time when we need it the most, because the weather isn't great. So Aphrodite brings in this light into our lives at this time in February as a way to connect to ourselves and enjoy wherever we're at, in whatever shape and form that we're in, and that we get to choose this at any point that we want. It doesn't have to be February, but there's a big teaching with this, that you know, the weather where I'm at the moment is rubbish, but I'm not really focused on that. Aphrodite energy is very much, well, I'm just going to get on with it, and I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to cook myself a nice meal. Why should Valentine's Day just be reduced down to people that happen to be in a happy relationship? What if you are in a happy relationship to your life right now? So with that, without further ado, I'm going to use the fairy cards, the Doreen Virtue cards, my tarot cards, which I don't know who the author is of these, so my apologies. Oh, sorry, it's actually Jonathan D, it says. And I've got the Priestess of Light, which are amazing cards, and I feel like this is the power deck for the feminine at the moment. So this is Sandra Ann Taylor and Kimberly Weber have created these cards together. So they're saying they want the Priestess of Light card. So I'm going to ask Spirit now to bring in the energies of clarity and communication of where the Divine Feminine is at the moment right now. And this is for all directions of time, for anybody listening to this message at any point. So they're just telling me to take my slippers off and put my feet on the ground, and to just feel the carpet. I've got the most beautiful carpet in here. The fluffy carpet on my feet. It's like they're saying to get back in touch with the sensations, the physical sensations of being grounded. And it's interesting actually, because they put the holy wood on so when I did my crystal grid for this reading, I've got my my holy wood here, and this is a very grounding, like wood is earth, so it brings you earthed back into your life, your physical body. And the impressions that I'm getting with the feminine energy, now again, you could be a man listening to this, and this will absolutely it will be it includes everybody, is this, that the feminine in of late is understanding this need to really get back and present in her body, because experiences of late have almost forced her out of her physical body. It's like almost like a need to protect oneself from the energies that we've been experiencing collectively. A lot of what they're showing me is like where somebody almost isn't present in their body because of trauma. I mean, again, as I always say with the readings that I do with spirit, not all of it will resonate with you, but parts of it will, you'll know, because you'll just get this, yes, that resonate, like something in this. I sometimes get tingles, or I'll just get a feeling that I've been feeling that of late, and it's a validation from spirit. It's like spirit saying, look, yeah, we know, we're here and we're with you. So there's this need to get my feet back on the ground and to get really plugged into my life. Like I'm safe, I can do it. I'm safe, it's okay, you know. I'm learning that I'm okay. Ooh, the Divine Feminine cards actually come out. Oh, and the Divine Masculine has come out to say that he's here with her. 7 and 8. Well, if that doesn't come out, I've just got to stop and show you these cards. So these cards, they've actually come out together. That's the start of the reading. So, and I also get the feeling that what I'm hearing is the Divine Masculine has got this, is understanding what the Divine Feminine has been, I don't want to say struggling with, but she hasn't felt safe in the world of late. But can you see the power in her hands, her healing hands? And she has, I mean, this is a very Isis card for me. What kind of bird is that now? It actually looks like an eagle. So she's really connected into the spiritual realm. So it's almost like she's had to either go off and be in her temple alone for some time while this too shall pass. But while she's been doing this, and while she's been in her temple, they just show me like the pyramid in a temple, she's been honing her craft. She's been really, like, it might not look like on the outside, and I'm looking at this from a Western perspective, that she's not doing anything because she's not being productive. Like, she's not producing something that can look like, well, I can make money out of something I've made, which is a very, like, I'm just going to say, it's a very juvenile way of looking at art and creative spirit. You don't create just because have to have something to show for it. A lot of the creative process is in what spirit is showing me is unknotting old ways and the thought patterns. The Divine Feminine's growth has been really in her ability to sit with herself in her temple and just not let people come in and trash it anymore. That's what I'm just being shown. I feel like it's quite a solitary energy is what I'm feeling. Now, you could be in a relationship and have felt like that you've just needed to go in and have your quiet time. You've needed to go in. What I'm hearing is the Divine Feminine has been processing a lot. But she's also, as she's processing, she's also been planning where she fits in her world. And she's also, can you see, like, with the universe in the background, she's also been learning what her biocosm is. So this is her biosphere. So if you think you are your own universe, and what that means is it's like you are your own ecosystem. This is something I got shown a long time ago with Spirit, and they were like, you've got to get to know your energy and how it works. And it's all part of learning to trust yourself and develop not even develop your intuition, is unlearn what has socialized you from not trusting your intuition, is the way that they're describing it to me. But the divine masculine is here, so I've got to say this could be the divine masculine arriving in her life physically very soon, or connecting with her on some front, because he's got he's connecting, she's connected to both, so she's grounding in her light into the earth here, and then he is connecting his earthly life to spirit, so he's been doing it in a different way. And sorry if the pronouns are not correct, guys, but that's funny, the card just turned itself over and now they've switched positions. Right, so I'm going to stick with the feminine first. So she's also wondering, well, where is the masculine? Where are you? Where are they? They're out there. I've got to say, I've actually seen a lot of divine masculine energies really starting to appear on the earth, like really standing up, speaking out and standing up. Right, so this is for the divine feminine now, Spirit. And I just want to know anything more on where she is right now. Anything more you want to tell us about the divine feminine's energies right now? And just they keep showing me a flower and the petals are starting to open up. So the abundance card is there. There's a real Lakshmi energy with that card, 28. So number 28 might have relevance, or 2 and 8 for you. 2 is coming together and 8 is power and abundance. But also the elephant is there, and the elephant is about, the elephants remember everything. They've got like memories that are just, and as I'm talking out the window, there is a lone magpie on the chimney. So it's like the divine feminine has been processing a lot of her sorrow and her betrayals, so that she can allow an opening in her life. And it was so interesting because all the signs that Spirit give me are in the moment. So when I went to sit on the table, I never sit in this chair, always sit in almost like the masculine, the right side. So whenever you're doing mediumship, the right side will often be the male family members in the family will come through, and the right. I get a lot of my intuition comes through my right side of my body because I act on it. But Spirit were like, you're doing everything from the left on this reading. So it's all much more, it's just a different switch for me. But even when I went to pull out like what I could be deemed as the feminine, the left side, so the left side of the body, it's the left side of the brain, the right side of the brain, like it works in opposite ways. But it was like Spirit was showing me like the chair was like so wedged in, and it's like make space, make room. And ironically, my chair, which is just behind the table here, is actually a love seat. It's a seat where two people, well, I think if they're like quite skinny, can sit in it. I know I certainly, I'm not sharing this seat with anybody, but my chair here, which is actually called a love seat, I couldn't get in. It was wedged in, and it was like the feminine is making room in her life. She's making room, but she's also really starting to figure out who she is. She's really finding out where she sits in the world, where she belongs, where they belong. Where do you belong? And that could be anything. It could even be about physical location. What's that song? Love lifts us up to where we belong. Death and rebirth. Yeah, darkness to light. She's coming out. She's coming out of the cave. So she's been in her Egyptian temple, and she's been figuring stuff out. She's been tuning into the divine masculine, wondering where the hell he is. But then she's gone, you know what? I'm not waiting for you. I'm just going to sit in my energy, and I'm going to weigh out the madness, because I can see that it is a temporary pause before we come together. She's been in a time of preparation, but she's been letting go of all the energetic templates and symbolic patterning in her life which doesn't resonate with abundance, because the death and rebirth cards around this. Right, okay. Anything else you want to tell us about the divine feminine? What has she had to... Right, so they want me to change the cards in a minute, right. What has she had to deal with? So what's been the block for her? As if there's been a block. Has there been a block? Yeah, okay. So there's been duality, sacred gratitude and hidden knowledge. Right, okay. So her block has been that not understanding the duality that we've been, and it feeling wounded by it. So it's like, you know, we see there out in the world, like, why are people being so cruel? And it's basically because they're acting out. They're not dealing with their wounding or their patterning, and they're throwing the toys out the pram. But the thing is, the feminines had to learn it's not personal. It's just that we are going through a monumental shift in the world right now, globally. And this is in everything to do with religion, to do with relating, to do with our sovereignty. And you see, the divine feminine has almost had to go into a protective stance because she understands all of this, but there's been a reasoning within her mind to understand, well, why aren't people there yet? Whereas, you know, we're in a learning planet. Earth is not a place where you come down, it's just all hunky-dory. There are always challenges. We live on a learning planet. So she's been doing things that nurture her soul, which is that, well, I will focus on the things that do give me power and give me energy and connect me with my real sovereign truth. And that's sacred gratitude. So it's a sense of looking at everything that she has and also seeing how far she's come. It's been commune with the divine and with nature and the meaning of life itself, and also the creative force of Mother Nature. She's been tapping into this very, very deeply, and it's been a real source of sustenance for her. Hidden knowledge, yeah, Akashic records and silent understanding. I mean, that is really such a beautiful way to sum up what I've been trying to describe, a silent understanding. This is her. She's been in her temple in cultivating a place of silent understanding with how life is and how we are operating right now. And it's actually part of the divine path, even though, you know, it can be dressed up into lots of different meanings and concepts. Ultimately, if it wasn't a global pandemic, it would have been something else. Spirit have always said that to me. And actually, what the light energy is showing us is that it's about so many souls are awakening right now. They're awakening on such a massive level. And I've lost my other slipper underneath the table. I'm trying to find it. I like my creature comforts. It's like, no, keep your shoes off. I've been told. Ground, you know, stay in touch with right now. Don't go off on a tangent. There was something else that I wanted to say as well. Now the magpie's just gone back again. Oh, and there's a second one. So we move from sorrow to joy. Yes, that was it. I was saying about the global pandemic. So the light knows it's an awakening, and also that most people will generally awaken through being squeezed or being, you know, pain can be a motivator, but it's almost like the dark had a different plan, but actually the light and not succumbing to the divide and conquer energy and violence and lower darker energies, which I think the dark depended on the darker control mechanisms that are in place on our earth, believed that that was just going to be a success because it's always been a success to them. However, what's quite funny about this, because you have to keep a sense of humour, is that it's just awakened more people, and it's like a tipping point now. So all the mediums and the mass mediums that are used to manipulate people, of course that's mediums, it's media, it's communication routes, it's where things can be shown visually, and it's using all the senses, so what we listen to, what we hear. And Spirit has said to me ages ago, just shut it out. You don't need it, because you've figured that bit out of life, and a lot of people haven't. And I think that's why the divine feminine is the knowing. It's like, it's the energy of complete understanding and seeing what's really going on, but not reacting to it. So the hidden knowledge is understanding the real spiritual bird's eye view of everything. But also, if you see on the top of this card, I don't know if that's a cheetah or a tiger. I am not sure, I can't tell. But we are in the year of the tiger as well. So I feel like the divine feminine is going to bring this energy of her, what she has assimilated over this last 2 years. Nothing's gone to waste. She's going to really start acting on it now, because it's awakened part of her soul path. So she's needed to have either time alone or solitude time to either understand what her craft is to be, or what her place is in this world is. And it's nothing to do with egoic projections of looking a certain way or having a role. She's very much in tune with what it is now, and she's going to act on it, because it's the Akashic records, is everything that your soul has said, look, I'm just going to come down here and try and do this. So actually, can you see, like, her blocks are not really blocks? They are very much what she's meant to be doing. Right, so I'm going to leave that there with the divine feminine. I'm just going to see now what they want to pull out in the fairy cards. Right. So, any guidance for the divine feminine right now from Spirit? Any guidance from the divine feminine? And this could be in relation to relationship. I'm going to ask Spirit to just throw the cards out. I don't want to choose them. I don't want to influence them. So you throw them out. Thank you. Right. So this is guidance from Spirit for the divine feminine now, right? Okay. So that silent knowledge card, they're saying that they pulled out. I don't know why I'm putting the cards over there, but it's like they're done with. So I love the fairy cards because they're very direct, they're very earthly guidance. So be honest with yourself. There's some changes that you know you need to make, and it is heading in the direction of everything that you've ever wanted to create on this earth. So it's creating your own heaven on earth. But also in relation to connection and union and relationship to the masculine, is you've got to take action now, divine feminine. And for some people, it could be physical movement. It could be that you might need to be doing more exercise and you need to move the energy in your body. I actually feel like the divine feminine is moving to somewhere, and I don't know what that is. And I want to leave it quite grey and not black or white, because black and white thinking doesn't help any of us in this earthly life. It just narrows down our ability to create and manifest, and also our power. Excuse me. It limits all the different shades of grey, because there are so many and we're all in different situations. But what I do want to say is the body movement card is, when I often get that, I'll pull some tarot on that to clarify that. Actually, that's what they're saying to me to do. But the dreams coming true card is like one of the best cards in the pack. So again, if you've been alone and you've been like, well, where is my masculine? You know, and I've got my friends, some of my friends that are in same-sex relationships, they have a masculine and a feminine in their relationship, because that's just how it works. It's like the law of the universe. It's like if you have two masculines, it's like, can you imagine having two alpha males? It's just competitive. It's not in like, if you think coming to like a romantic relationship, it's like they repel each other because they're too alike. Right, so the body movement card, Spirit, what is this about? This is for collective read, but you bring out whatever you want to bring out. Okay, Page of Pentacles and the Lovers. So it's a choice point. So the Divine Feminine now, she's at a choice point, or they are at a choice point, right? Okay, and it's cutting things out because the Ace of Swords has come out, the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. Oh my God, and the Queen of Pentacles, right? So these have come out as well. So this is speeding up. So the Divine Feminine has had to learn to not to try to do everything alone. The Ten of Wands is very much like, it's like trying to hold on to everything and try to be so fixed and it's like overwork, it's being exhausted. And the Judgment card is a new way, it's a new opening. But it also, I've always said this about the Judgment card, it speeds everything up that's happening around it. Now we've got around this as well, and the top of the cards is the Knight of Wands. So this is things happening fast and furious. So what I do want to say to you about this spread with the body movement card is there's something the Divine Feminine knows that she needs to do or she needs to change, because the body movement is like the world, the cycle is turning. The Ace of Swords and the King of Swords and Queen of Swords is usually when you're cutting out a lot of stuff out of your life that you no longer need, but it's also mental clarity. So you know what this is. It's either something that, because the Two of Pentacles is here, and that's about sometimes spreading your resources thinly. It's time to stop doing that now, and it's time to get clear. It's time to say, well, actually now I am ready to welcome in somebody into my life, relationship wise, that is willing to be there for me. But I've got to stop this trying to do everything myself and micromanaging and multitasking. That's not the Divine Feminine. The Queen of Pence, which is here, she's like the grounding card here with the Page of Pentacles, to say, well, this is building a new foundation in your life. It's a choice point. The Lovers card is here. Okay. And the King of Swords with the Ace of Swords and the Queen of Swords, it's quite brutal. So it's like, look, this is not staying in your comfort zone by any shape or form, but actually what is coming up for you is this. It's joy, it's abundance, it's beauty. It's creating a life that you've always dreamed of having. But what it involves, what Spirit is saying to you is there's things that you know you need to let go of, which is overdoing, over controlling, over holding on. Again, I mean, just with these swords cards, I'm like, literally, I've never seen like all the swords to come out, all the major swords. So the Ace of Swords is about unstoppable movement, you see. So it's like once you make your decision, so like if you know that you're ready to move, physical move, or it's coming up, this is going to create unstoppable movement in your life. So for some people it will be a physical move, and it's to create balance, because the Ace of Swords can be like balance between a duel between two equally matched opponents. So it's like putting down the swords. See, if you think, again, you've got the balance of the masculine and the feminine here, because both the King and the Queen have come out. So it's holding court in your life, it's taking charge. Yes, okay, it's about being independent, but it's about being graceful. It's about being alert to your undercurrents and don't underestimate yourself. And then you've got this King of Swords, which is an intelligent man in a position of trust and authority, wise, logical and calm. It's mental stimulation. So I think there's like maybe decisions that you might have been mulling over, and now you've got to take action now, is what Spirit is saying. Because the Lovers, it's there for you. The relationship is there. I'm going to say it, but looking at these and all the, I mean, we don't have any Two of Cups or anything like that, but I'll be interested to see now what the divine masculine side is all about. So, again, if you are, say, married and you're, and there's things that that might be around your career, new opportunities on the bottom of the pack of the fairies. So, the cards are never wrong. In all my years of doing them, they're never wrong, right? So, Carly, what's the message for the divine feminine? She's like saying, rise up, stand up. Your power and your grace and your poise is where your beauty, your true beauty lies. Your innate nature, which is to really own who you are and not to feel that you have to tone yourself down for anybody, because Carly she doesn't do that for anybody. Right, so where is the message for the divine feminine, please, Carly? Okay, so it says the tongue of Carly is a reminder that no matter what we may see unfolding before us, there is always a pathway to the heroic and beautiful. So it's like being your own heroine, not waiting for the masculine to come in and save you. Again, it might be that you're going through, like this book is for Sadhana, for sacred introversion. So it could be like you're going in satsang, you're going into a place of self-discovery right now and healing. And part of your path, your femininity, your feminine side, is asking you to go and to just make these changes in your life without the validation of the masculine. And actually the masculine is maybe waiting for you to do that, for your relationship to evolve and grow. So I'm just going to pull a card for people who are in union. For some reason they're bringing me the fairy cards. I'm just going to be careful with time, because otherwise this video is going to go on forever. Right, so for people that are in union, well, awakening your true self. So there's something awakening with you. So this is the divine feminine that's in union. So what's the message? What's the message? Awakening your true self. So there's something awakening within you, or you're going through an awakening. Anything else for the divine feminine spirit? I'm going to take that. Magic of nature. So there's an awakening of your true nature, but it's going within. So again, that's the solitude energy that I was picking up. And the thing is, for those that are in, if you could call it separation, or they're not together with their partner in physical sense, it's a spiritual journey you're being called to go upon. And it might mean that you are, I don't know, I think that's something where you need to look at in a personal reading, or with an introspection or a conversation with your own guides and spirit yourself. But the higher consciousness card for me is always about communication with spirit. It's also with your soul. So there's some awakening going on for the feminines in relationships, which is about going within. So if you've got answers to things at the moment, where you're really going to get your clarity at the moment is going within. You're not going to get your answers outside of yourself. People will guide you and they'll signpost you, but there's something about going within it's something to do with tapping into your sovereignty and your inner knowing. Now, obviously, this won't resonate for everybody in a relationship. This is probably just whoever it is for, this message, it's for you. But there's something to do with maybe when your relationship started, you were looking for that from your partner and you got it. But what Spirit is saying is they're having a bit of a joke with us here, and they're saying to me, it doesn't matter whether you started alone or together. Ultimately, if you are on the path of the seeker, or you have an interest in connecting in with your guides, this will come on your journey at some point, even if you're in a relationship. You'll almost get squeezed, because all of that is out, it's external. Happiness is always created within. Yeah, so that's the message I get there, guys. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Right, let's have a gulp of water. And now I'm going to use the sage for the divine masculine, because they wanted sage for the masculines, which is so interesting. So a lot of shamanic energy coming through now. Hopefully this won't set the fire alarm off, because that'll just, my neighbours will not be too happy about that. We had fire alarms going off every like half an hour just before Christmas, and I was away for Christmas, but my poor neighbours next door were having to go downstairs because some of the neighbours are, I think maybe they're hard of hearing, and some of them have loved ones with them caring for them. So they didn't even come out when the fire alarm was on. So that's why I'm really conscious about not setting the fire alarm off. Right. So we're just going to clear the energies now, and we're going to say to Spirit, thank you for that insight with the divine feminine. And then what I'll do at the end to close it all off is I'll just see if there's an overriding message for those wanting to come into union for Valentine's Day. Because you've got these portals, the 20, 22 and 2, but for some reason they're saying the 2nd and the 22 is very powerful. Right. So the divine feminine, the divine masculine wanted the vision quest, black moon astrology and the mythic oracle. So these are kind of like, there's an interest opening up in numbers and mathematics, and what they're saying to me is watch for some people with their divine masculines in either in their relationship or who they're meeting, having this really inquisitive mind to do with like Pythagoras and Tesla. A lot of divine masculines are waking up to the correlation between mathematics and Pythagoras, astrology, numerology, because all Pythagoras energy is all linked into numbers. And what Spirit also saying as well is it's all linked into the energy of numbers, to do with music as well. So it all correlates with maths and physics. So 5 to 8 hertz, 5, 6, 7, 15, 6. So that's interesting because that breaks down to the energy of 6. Hopefully I can add up there. And we're in a 6th year, so the love frequency. So it's a real powerful month this month. I mean, it has been, hasn't it, everybody, this year with everything that's been going on. There's a lot of people coming together through adversity, and it's going to continue. It's, you know, these structures and this Pluto and Capricorn energy, which is the breaking down of these very, very old patriarchal structures that served us. They actually worked for a very long time, but we are evolving now. We're post-nuclear age, where we invented something that can wipe us all out, and I feel like humanity woke up after that nuclear age, and this is like the mass awakening on our planet that we've all come down to do. So, you know, it's fascinating. Right, so divine masculine, right, so they want these after, so they want an astrology card first. So I'm just going to ask Spirit please to tune in for the divine masculine. So I feel like the energy I'm getting with the divine masculine is like, I want to grow my hair out, and I want to shave all my hair off. I want to feel free. I want to, you know, I don't want anything constricting my body. So, you know, this might come out wrong. I want to take my clothes off. Like, I want to go to work wearing clothes that maybe my company don't want me to wear. That's the energy that I'm getting. I'm just getting this feeling of just throwing off all the, I'm not saying like tight restrictive clothing if you're going for a run or whatever, but there's just this feeling of just not wanting to be hemmed into like wearing a suit and tie and going to work. I just want to be like, oh, I just want to get rid of all the constraints of life. I want to just have a bit of freedom for a while, and I want to feel like I just don't want the pressure on my head anymore. I just want to be running on a beach or barefoot in nature. I want to be moving, but I want to be in nature. That's the energy that I'm getting with the Divine Masculine. I'm just feeling this energy with the Divine Masculine as well, wanting access to proper food. I'm getting irate about all the chemicals in food, and and again, remember, we've all got the Divine Masculine. I just want proper food, and I want to know where all my stuff comes from. I'm going to ask more about that, and I'm going to search. Again, this message might just be specific for somebody. If it's you're not resonating with it, you're not resonating with it. But there's this energy of well, where does my stuff come from? I just don't want to waste money on just benign things, banal things. I'm not getting that word right. I know I'm not, but you're like that. Just my brain just goes offline. I want to get out. I don't want to be in front of a TV and being oh. I want to get out and I want to connect with. I'm just seeing a massive connection with birds here as well. Right. So, where is the Divine Masculine at, Spirit, please? So they want 2 cards, one from the Mythic Oracle deck and one from the Black Moon Astrology. So this is for the Divine Masculine. Where's the Divine Masculine at? Well, it's coming through a cycle and he's being provoked, or they're being provoked. The Grand Cross, it's all coming together. It's all coming to a head is what they're saying. Right, Divine Masculine, where are they at? The journey and play. Yeah, so they want some freedom. Hebe is, I always think that's a very Arabic name. Odysseus. I just want to read a little bit about Odysseus to see what did he do, because I don't know Odysseus so well. So he's been on a journey. We know that because that's what it says on the card. So he's been on the hero's journey. So this is the hero suit in this deck. So I'm just going to have a quick look at Odysseus. I'm sure you all know what he did, but I don't. So he's a hero of great wit and intelligence. It was his idea to give a large wooden horse to the Trojans as a gift that carried within it the Greek soldiers that were finally able to penetrate the walls that defended Troy. That's interesting. Where are we seeing that in the world right now? After the Trojan War, Odysseus made his way home. While stopping over at an island, he managed to outsmart Polyphemus, a cyclops who was the son of Poseidon. Polyphemus, full of rage, asked his father to never allow Odysseus to reach his home of Ithaca, and Poseidon did all he could to prevent Odysseus' safe arrival home. This long and arduous journey became the story chronicled in Homer's The Odyssey. Oh, I'm going to have to watch that now. I've seen that right. So it's saying here that there's been many challenges and distractions and temptations, and battles are inevitable on every hero's quests. But only those willing to face the dragons and defeat the monsters will experience victory. Those that don't get distracted or give up when the journey gets too rough. Those that face every challenge head on will assuredly reach their goal. Decide today to be that person. Have heart and courage. So Odysseus fought a 10-year battle at Troy and took 14 years to fight his way back home, but he eventually accomplished the seemingly impossible. Yet it was never the accomplished task that made Odysseus great, it was his journey that did. This card signals victory. Stay true to your heart, and they're saying stay in your heart. And revision now, for you have the power to create and achieve great things. Embrace your journey, both the challenges and joys of it, and stay true to your heart's desires. So what I want to say is that the masculine is coming home and has had to slay the dragons. So in the background there is, I would say that's the Trojan horse and fire. So just think that the masculine is either, or is currently going through, no, he's coming out of a Trojan horse battle, and it's been a long and arduous journey, and he's heading towards Hebe for some play now. But this is a person that doesn't. This is a person that hasn't taken times off the path for distractions. So he hasn't had dalliances. This is not a, I'm just going to say this from a gender perspective, say if you're heterosexual, and you want to manifest, you want to be with your divine counterpart, this is a real man. This is not a boy. This is somebody who's come out of, and this inner battle, remember, could be inner demons. It could also be he's been holding the line out there in the world, and he's been speaking up and out, and he's stayed true to themselves. Again, it could be the feminine gender, but is the masculine in the relationship, and now needs time to play, because they are seeing out the end of a massive cycle in their lives. So the 10th house is the World card, which is, a cycle is ending, okay? A spiritual cycle that the divine masculine has been through is ending. And it's almost like the provoker is like, just as the cycle's ending, I'll explain this card to you. It's like, oh my God, is this cycle ever going to end? Am I ever going to have, can I just stop working? It's tension, it's catalyst for movement and change. So what I want to say is that the divine masculine is preparing, is really, he had to go off on this hero's journey for himself, for his craft, for his community, for his soul. And he's done it now. They've done it. And, the area of tension is leaving their life. So I just want to go through the areas. So it's pressure, discipline, frustration, growth, defensiveness, competition, and victory. Now remember, this will be within you as well. So this is frustrations, being overwhelmed by the reality of situations and balancing things out. Analysis paralysis, unreadiness to move or act, the mulling over of matters, building a foundation, keeping an eye on the prize, identity crisis, focusing on self-worth, initiation, needing to act, poverty, the need to scavenge, hard luck, not being given a break, direction, focus, earning trust, implementing change, the need to be more flexible, encountering resistance, time for healing, time for reasoning, feeling hurt, victimization, feeling misunderstood, a realistic look at the future, going through the motions, an unfavorable time to act on impulse. This is the 9 of Wands. So this is a cycle that the masculine has had to go through, and it's really been about, there has been a journey that we've all had to go on at some level in some area of our lives, which was about all of those areas, and it's now ending. Or we are, because remember, if we're merging the energies of the divine masculine and the divine feminine together, it's not about having to go into battle to be understood or to be accepted. The divine feminine has got this silent understanding. It's still at the bottom of the pack. She's using her hidden knowledge that this might be the divine union that's happening with you, is that the battle, there's no battle to be won. The battle that was within you is now ending, because you are ready to put down the weapons. Because if you look at Odysseus, he's still like in this fight and flight. He's like, come on, I'm ready. This is not a person to be messed with. He has his Trojan horse, his power animal, and the horses are majestic and graceful, and they know what they can feel, they know what we feel before we even feel it. Horses are that attuned to such gentle, incredible vibrations that they're amazing. But also for many years, humans could not have lived without horses. They did the hard work. They did the pulling and the toiling of the soils for us. They were our feet that walked us through thousands of miles. They were our mode of transport. They carried us when we were weak. And Odysseus knows this. But there's a time now where that hard work, it's time to play. It's time to let the tension go. It's time to drop the energies that don't serve you, the provoker energies that woke you up, and actually to put into practice the silent hidden knowledge and the understanding that are within you, which are within the Akashic records. So let you into a little secret here. Whenever you go to a reader, a proper reader, not a charlatan, they have access to the Akashic records with your permission, of course. You never ever read or open up or tap into somebody's energy field without the person's permission. You just don't do it. Right, so that's where we're at with the Divine Masculine. Amazing. Right, so going on to the vision quest now. So has there been a block for the Divine Masculine? I know we've touched on a little bit of that. Divine Masculine. What does the Divine Masculine need to overcome, or the block? Inner strength. So within you, it could be like, well, what inner strength? And this again is the Nine of Wands, because that's the Nine of Fire. The Wands in the tarot suit is fire energy. So it's come out twice. So again, the Divine Masculine's not messing around it. It's like, here you go, it's all in the cards here. So Nine of Fire is to actually understand how much strength that you've got. So everything that you've been through, none of it has been wasted. That long period of whatever you've had to go through, whether it's been a marriage, whether it's been getting to see your kids, maybe it's been dealing with a toxic ex-partner. It's been hard and it's been arduous, but it's now time to play. And it's now, so if you've got kids, it's time to spend more time with playfulness with them seeing the playfulness within you. The cycle is turning. Okay, anything else that the Divine Masculine wants to tell us right now? I'm hearing I'm coming home. I'm coming home, Ace of Fire. So there's movement and there's action. And I mean, look at that. Look at the arrow. Like, I know where I'm going. My fire is in my belly and I'm about to take off, and I'm not. So I feel like the Divine Masculine is preparing to make a massive move. But I'm feeling this is energetic, not a physical move. I feel like this is an energetic move. So this is a choice point again, but it's an action point. So any more on this Ace of Fire? What's this about? Hitting the mark. Daughter of Water. So it's done around emotions, and Mother of Water. Coming home to the Divine Feminine. There's definitely a coming together of these energies. There's some fear around it. There's some fear enough, like, will I have the strength to do this? I'll show you the cards in a minute. There's more to come out here. So they are ready, actually. They're ready, but they don't think that they are, because the Five of Air is there, which is the fear card. There's a slight intrepidation around it, but the Fullness card is there. See, again, now this won't be for everybody, but this is somebody who's done the work. The Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine, these are souls who have done the work. The hero's journey is somebody who's done the work. This is not somebody who's just gone off and done a week of therapy. This is somebody who's really gone in and done a proper like a review. And we do this a lot of times in our lives. So Daughter of Water. So this is where, so the Divine Masculine totally knows what they want. Okay, they know this journey has really brought out all the tensions and all the crap that they needed to let go of, and they're coming out of it now, and they're really realizing how strong they actually are. And what it's done is it's given them a sense of, I know what I want and I'm going after it now, because that's what the Ace of Fire does, because it's the Ace of Wands. It's very creative energy. It's very powerful. I mean, there's so much passion around this card. I mean, that's what you want. Daughter of Water and Mother of Water. So this is what the Divine Masculine is bringing into his to their energy field, which is an emotionally available Divine Feminine. Okay, so this is the Queen of Cups and the if you could call it the Princess of Cups, the Daughter of Water. So this is, okay, all right, so what Spirit is saying is this is a Divine Feminine who has matured. So this is a Divine Feminine who has stopped giving out all her energy. So she's very creative, because that's her womb there, and all the creative energy is in the womb center. Whether you have a physical womb or not, it's there, energetic. It's nothing to do with the physical body. And the mother of water is somebody who is in balance, emotionally in balance, okay? But she understands all her passage cycles of life, okay, which is the maiden and the crone, the wise woman. It's she's gone through the rite of passage, and she knows all these facets of herself, and she totally honors them and understands it's nothing to do with what she's achieved, it's to do with her essence, okay? And this is where the divine masculine is heading. The divine masculine has done the hero's journey. The divine masculine is not going to rescue the divine feminine. If you see with the two reads, they're very much in balance. They've gone through a lot, very much like solitude in their own right and own way. But there's a slight energy here of fear, like, will I be good enough? Like there's that sense of that self-esteem where it's like, well, will they accept me? I feel a bit throughout all of this. There's still a sense of being battle weary. But the fullness card is there, but the emotional availability is there. This is the Three of Cups. So it's like, I feel like this is the energy they're saying of when they physically come together. Right. So I'm going to just pull now a card for the divine masculine that's in a relationship. So is there any message about the divine masculine that's in union at the moment? Whoa, right, okay. So that's turned over, right. So the Hermit's come out, the Clown, which for me is like the... so this is like a new beginning, the Clown, okay? The Hermit's around this. So there's some, again, it's so interesting because... So those of you that are in relationship that relate to the masculine energy, there is a sense of going within and creating a new beginning, but it's rest, because it's healing, because the medicine man, all these cards came out together. So the medicine man is walking around the medicine wheel and to apply the correct medicine for the milady that you've got. That's what Spirit is saying to me now. What that will be for all of you is different. Maybe look into the medicine wheel and see, well, what direction are you in at the moment? But there is a vision quest. So there's something here that needs to be light, needs to be brought into your life. It might be that you physically need some vitamin D, you need a holiday, or that you need to receive more, the masculine in union. And the mother of fire is there. So it's, again, can you see, like, she's round the fire and she's stoking up a fire. I actually feel that for the divine masculines in relationship, it's a restorative energy that's required around the fire element in your life, because we've also got accumulation. So I feel like on a physical front, you've got everything that you need. So it might be that you're at home, and actually it could be a nod that you need more sustenance, you need proper physical tending to your health. But the mother of fire is about, it's hearth and home. So this is a very creative woman. So it's about being around this energy. So for you, your medicine might mean physical sustenance and healing, whether it be through food. There's a lot of energy in orange. So this is sacral energy and solar plexus energy that needs healing. So it could be around your stomach, your digestive system. It's around this energy I get. Light needs to come in. So it could have been overwork. I'm getting a feeling of needing some rest. But also to treat your, whatever it is that you're going through. Now, the negative thinking cards at the top here, so it could be that for some people, it could be feeling slightly depressed and worn down. And what's needed is deep rest. Light needs to be restored in your physicality here. That's what I'm getting. Right, okay. Thank you, Spirit. That's lovely. Right, so before I close down now, so let's bring in a bit of lightness before we end this reading. So that's the Divine Masculine. So they're saying, right, I'm just going to clear the energy now for that. And I'm going to ask them what cards do they want to do. So they're just saying the Sage and the Holy Wood together. Right, okay, thank you. So they've shown me like two camps here. They've shown me those that want to come into union. Now you might be in both of these. And then those that actually are going to come into union very, very soon. Because again, it depends on the free will of each person. But I think it makes sense for a lot of people, for those that are not together yet, that why they aren't, because the masculine has had to go on a journey and so has the feminine in their own respective ways. And it's so interesting because I forgot to mention when I was doing the cards before that when the Divine Masculine was saying that they're coming home to the Mother of Water, which is the Queen of Cups, is that I just wanted to burst into tears. I actually felt like my heart was like, oh my God, it's like my heart's been aching, like, where are you? That type of thing. And that's not me, guys. I'm feeling that energy around some people. Well, I'm telling you, so 28 again, Aphrodite and Love's at the bottom of the pack. Right, okay. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. And they're saying like timelines, it's not fixed. Some of the masculines have got a little bit more healing to do. And what they mean by that is it's just letting all the crap go. It's like that provoker energy just to calm down. There's just this, I feel like this calmness that's coming over the Divine Masculine. They don't want to be het up before they come into union with the feminine. They want to be, it's like they're saying they want to be on their best behavior or performance. There's still a little bit of that's got to go. And it's like, look, none of us are going to be perfect when we meet and we come into union. We don't want to be, because after 6 months you're going to see everything about, no one's perfect, and we do most of our healing and our learning in relationship. Right, okay, so what do you want first? Right, so the feminine's taking the lead. Right, so let's just do, okay, right, so they're saying to me, this is for the first camp, this is for the second camp. Right, okay, but that doesn't feel right, the Vision Quest cards. They're saying, no, go with it, trust us. Right, okay, I trust you. So first group are those that, okay, so those that are going to be coming into union very, very soon. For some of them, for some people, it's going to be this month. It's like a trickle. It's like February, March, April. It's like, yeah. So those that are coming into union shortly this year. What's the message, Spirit? Yeah, I didn't ask them, sorry. What's the message? I just keep seeing a horse charging, like literally like the Knight of Wands coming in, but that's not the energy of the relationship. That's just the speed at which it's coming. It's like, and there you are. Right. So what's the message? Right, wisdom, adjustment, courage and tenderness. Oh my God, that's so beautiful. Friendship. Oh my God, I just want to cry looking at this. There's such an energy, like my heart is just exploding when I feel this. If I just show you this card, that is just like the energy of the relationship, true love and compassion. So what else do you want to share with us? Oh my God, just felt like something come all the way up. It's like from my heart, and then it went down into my belly, and then it went all the way up through my throat, and just a massive like release. But it's like, it's just tenderness and beauty and love and joy, harmony. Iris. Again, another, well, it's a 9 actually, that card. So these are beauty, Aphrodite. Oh, it's so gorgeous. So these are the divine counterparts, the divine masculine and feminines that are coming into union very, very soon. Purity. Right, so these are the energies around the relationship. So let's start with the Priestess of Light card. So we've got wisdom, learning, joy, art and music. So when you come together, you're going to be so thankful by the fact that you had the time that you had to learn what you did. Because, and I know it sounds really predictable, but if you hadn't have had the time to get to know yourself a little bit better, you couldn't have attracted this relationship into your life. And you've got adjustments. So there is going to be an adjustment period of getting to know each other. And what they're saying is, for this group, and whatever you relate to, it's up to you, there is going to be a sense of you meet and then it's like you think it's going to be boom, that's it, and it's not. There's actually an adjustment period. So it might mean you're not in the same place, or you're like 20 miles away, or you live in different. I feel like these are the energies I'm getting with this. It's not on the doorstep. I feel it's like you're there and I'm here, and how are we going to do this? And that's what that energy is of that card I'm getting. I mean, you might get something else. The adjustment that needs to be made and will be made over the next 6 months is, well, it's almost like you're not together and then that's it. It's not an enmeshed relationship. It's very, very healthy, because there's a purity around it. There's like a lot of the work that maybe the old template of relationships that our parents had, you've done that yourself, or they've done it in their marriage, or you've done it in your marriage, and and I don't know why I'm saying marriage, so some people have been married and some people haven't, but it's looking back and just going, but it's looking back with wisdom. It's not looking back with hatred or fear. It's like, look, that was somebody who is very different to who I am now. But there is courage. So again, it's about stepping into this new life that you're going to create together. But it's just this tenderness. I mean, that just, my heart, I just want to cry. It's almost like, oh my God, I knew this could exist, but I haven't experienced it before. So there's harmony coming in, and it's filled with beauty. It's filled with this, I feel like the partner's going to be like, well, yes, you take your time to trust each other. There's not like, oh, just because you display all these attributes and characteristics, it means that, well, that's it forever. You might feel it within your heart, but you're still going to go through the adulting, which is we take our time and we build our trust and we get to know each other, because the friendship card was on the top of the pack, which tells me that there's a sense of having fun together and enjoying each other's company. There's none of this forced love bombing or, I need to some people do, they get lucky and they meet and then they move in together and that's it. But there's also an element to some people that do that still in a healthy way, like they just knew they were going to get married, or they were going to do a hand fasting, hand tying, or whatever ceremony they want to do, or commitment, or just know that's it. But I've also seen relationships where people do that, but it's from a place of attachment disorder, so they just don't want to be alone, and they meet somebody and they think, oh, they're great, and that's it, and they hang on to them. It's still like a wounded child place. That's not what this is, guys. This is for people that have really done the work. Right, so that's those that are coming into union. I wouldn't even be surprised. I'm going to ask Spirit for a time frame on this. I'm just going to ask them with the astrology cards if I'm allowed to know. They're making me laugh and they're saying no. But I'm just saying, look, are we allowed to know, is there a time frame on this, the people that are coming together, like, is it this year? Is there any, they're just saying it's so variable. Right, it's destiny. There's loads of numbers in this, guy, so read into it what you may. So destiny, 4 and 8 and 4 makes 12, so it could be 2 and then 12 amounts down to 3. I feel like these are people coming into union this year. It's pretty soon is what I can tell you. And Sun Spirit's there as well with it. So, I mean, these are destined relationships. Your soul will guide you to go to where you need to be to meet, or you'll be in like somewhere and it's a destined union. It's destined meeting as well. You cannot stop it. Remember that King of Wands was showing us that before, right? So these are, I've got to take that out because so they're already on to the next group, which is, so these are the divine counterparts that want to come into union. So that you're desiring it, but you're just like, you're not feeling that it's really soon is what they're saying to me, but you know it's on the cards literally. So what's the message for this group, please, Spirit? So the Friends card is saying that, yeah. Right, okay. So you've got Cancer, I feel, and Friends. So again, I think that's what they're saying there is, I think this is going to have a different, yeah, I feel like it's not right now. The Void, of course, Moon missing, is it the time isn't right. But what Spirit is saying is that there's an element here of you either putting down roots somewhere new, or feeling like wherever you are, you're going to put down roots and say, yeah, that's it. And you're feeling it. And you're building your friendship group at the moment. But also Spirit is saying for this group, it could come through your friends. The meeting could come through your friends. Anything else for this group? So they, I need to take that card out because it's like the, so this is the group that want to come together. This is the type, they want this relationship that's emotionally available and mature. You know, it's a proper spiritual union. Right, okay. So there's been a real need to purge for you. This is how you'll know this resonates with you. So the excess card has come out, which is the 7 of Cups. Lots of choices and what do I do, and my energy being a bit spread and so many things to sort out, but also emotional release has been needed. Yeah, and it's based around fear energies, because these relationships don't come in based on a fear or a need. They come in because you're quite solid in who you are. That's what the Roots card is. You know, you're able to build a home in your life yourself anyway. And whatever fear you've had about that, it's time to let that go. Accumulation, it will come in. Your harvest is going to come in, and it's all linked to Mother Earth energy, and it's about releasing where you've been hurt in your life. Now again, this is not divine feminine or divine masculine specific. This is about the energies, stagnated. So it's letting the hurt go, which is based upon the past. It's based upon the past. And just letting it go. And, you know, it's not forcing it or anything like that. Yeah, it's about getting mental clarity, about choosing what you want, where you want to live, how you want to live your life, who you want in your life as well. I feel with this group, there's been a cleansing of your friend circle, but there's also been a cleansing of where you're going to base yourself as well. That's interesting. But you know what? Spirit is saying to me, everything can be sped up. Everything can be sped up. Yeah, contemplation and medicine woman. So, okay. Medicine woman and 4 of contemplation. I know I'm doing a lot of cards here, but 10 of earth. Yeah, I just, these are this really sums it up for me. So 4 of air and medicine women is basically saying like you have the ability to turn everything very, very quickly. 4 is very much like, if you think about the 4 roots of like a pyramid, so the 4 like corners, it makes it stable, doesn't it? And again, we've got 4th house here, but we've also got your ability as a medicine woman or a medicine person to shamanically cleanse whatever it is that you want to cleanse. So the 10 of earth, which we know it's the wealth card, it's all about just having everything that life could offer you. But I think what I want to say here is that whatever fear you've had about either receiving or creating abundance in your life, is they want you to let all that shit go about the past, about being hurt. It's now time for you to almost like put your roots into Mother Earth, because the victory card's on the top as well, and say, right, okay, any of that crap where I was literally bleeding out my energy to people that didn't deserve me, that didn't appreciate me, that didn't love me for the way that I am, and I get a lot of purity around this, because the Cancer card has come out, which is all to do with your feelings. It's all to do with where we've sometimes been wounded by home and family, and fourth house is home and family in astrology. Is we've got to let that go, because the thing is, your person isn't going to see this about you, because sooner or later we're all going to have family stuff to deal with. We're going to lose people, we're going to have arguments, we're going to fall out about money, we're going to argue about bloody pandemic crap. We're going to lose people, we're going to lose things in our life. That's what the Seven of Water excess card is about. It's about loss. And what Spirit is saying is, this is who you are. So the shaman has come out, the man and the woman, so the masculine and the feminine. That's what it's symbolizing for me. This is who you are. You get to choose, and you get to energetically use your powers of being a medicine man or woman, to be shamanic, to welcome in the rituals and the ceremonies to switch your energy up. And it's literally, as soon as you do that, the Lover's card is there, and the Daughter of Air, which is it's all about being very, very clear within the mind and soaring high. And the Victory card is there, guys. So it's just like saying, look, that shit did happen, and I'm going to let all that crap go, because just because people hurt me doesn't mean that then becomes my identity as a person. Because you are going to be putting down these roots with your person anyway. And I mean, look at that card. That's your tree of life. This is who you are. 28 again. There's a 2 and an 8 running through all these messages, coming together, wealth, abundance. It means different things to different people. Success means different things to different people. And you and your person will have that. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there, because otherwise, I could go on forever with cards, but from my heart to yours, I am sending you all the love in the world and then some, because I really believe that love makes the world go round. I think it's what makes it spin on its axes. And just remember, what's going on in the world right now is that the vibration of love, of connection, because the connection to the self, when you go in within, and you meditate, or you bring in the energy of the heart chakra. And we've got a full moon in Leo on the 15th, and it is at 16:56. So at 5:05 in the evening on Wednesday the 16th, and it's at 27.59 degrees of Leo. I'm just reading my diary here because I wrote it down. So again, everything they're saying here in the cards is, this is a big heart chakra cleanse that's coming up in the world. And the thing is, we are learning that love wins. Love is peace. It's forgiveness. It's connection. It's coming together. It's saying, I see the love in you, that you see the love in me. It's union, even if we've got a difference of opinion. And this energy is so powerful. It's our superpower, is love and empathy. And actually, we're starting to see this around the world, all these peaceful displays of people standing up for their rights, and they're doing it peacefully, and they're using not violence. I mean, there's always people planted that try to stuff it up for everybody. But coming out of this reactionary place and coming into a place of what I would call silent understanding, which came out with the Divine Feminine card, didn't it? Is that this is how we are healing what needs to be healed in our world. So what I would say around this week is a very powerful week, especially for the healing of the heart for many people, especially if you are really wanting to come into a union with somebody who you feel is your counterpart, who is your equal. And you definitely have to do the work to do that. It's not about being perfect or getting to a place where you no longer worry or you're devoid of fear. That doesn't exist. We live in a dualistic world, but it's coming to a place within you that knowing that you are worthy to receive love from another human being and being able to be vulnerable and let somebody into your heart. And again, it does require discernment. That's where the work comes in. And the way that you do that is you know yourself. You get to know what works for you and what doesn't. We're all different, aren't we? So it's going to be a very powerful week. Valentine's tomorrow, and then heart chakra. Leo is all to do with the heart chakra. It's to do with the inner child. It's to do with healing the heart. And we're going to be in this powerful week, guys. So yeah, be so interesting to see what comes out with all of it. So just have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoy the reading, and I so appreciate it if you like the video. It really helps me. And yes, and I will see you very soon for another reading. Take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.